Hey guys, welcome back to the SOV podcast. Today we have three special guests. We have Specter, we have CJ, and we have HFA Dread. You guys would like to go ahead and introduce yourselves and tell us what you don't or do.
Well, hello, my name is Specter. I'm the HR for SOV and the owner of Ghost Division.
What does Ghost Vision do?
Ghost Division is like a digital watchtower for clans and communities and server admins. Think of it as your information hub for the not so great stuff that happens behind the scenes. Things like blacklisted members, serial clan hoppers, cheaters, server leechers, and even more serious threats like predators and abusers. We're not about stirring drama or cancel culture. This is about protection, awareness, and creating a safer space for everyone involved.
So basically, it's like a place that you can go and see like listings of different groups of people that have basically broken rules to a point that it's um, not a good idea to have them in your community, right?
Broken rules or laws, to be fair, and
Right.
we're all neutral.
Gotcha, gotcha. Alrighty. Dread, how about you?
Um, I I'm Dread. I run a community called Hell's Fallen Angels. We're a casual gaming community. To be honest, we're just a friend group who started a Discord server, but it's a safe space for people now. I'm also an admin in Ghost Division. Uh, yeah.
Nice. And then CJ.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's CJ. You may know me in the clan scene as Gas Mask. I've been Gas Mask for the longest time. Recently did a rebranding to just CJ. I run RxR, Ronan X Rebels. We're a 18 and over gaming community. We were founded by a branch off of something else. Originally was Kaizen. I was a Kaizen syndicate person, and I just kind of didn't like how they brought in like outside people to run stuff, even though I was running things. So I thought, hey, you know what, man? I can do this myself. And then I just started it up. We closed down for a while. We merged in with some friends, and then we found out some stuff. And I'm pretty sure a lot of us have been there. You know what I mean? And we opened back up. Actually, this month is our 1 year anniversary. We've officially been open for a year, and we got a bunch of stuff coming up, and we're pretty excited for that.
It's
Well,
awesome to hear.
congratulations on that.
Yeah, seriously.
Thank you.
Um,
1 year
One
is
year
a
mark
big
is
milestone.
yeah, in the community scene for people that may be listening that have never really been in the scene, that's like running a 5K marathon right there.
seriously. I mean, that I can understand is definitely a pretty big feat. There's been a couple groups that I and a couple other people in this Discord here have been a part of. That, if I remember correctly, the last one that I was in only lasted like 5 months. So that's
Yeah, about 5.
yeah. So that's still a pretty big achievement, man.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate that.
So, do you guys do any like sort of events, like game nights or anything that makes the player feel, or not player, but like the members feel welcomed and involved? Like,
So,
uh,
so like for ArcSAR, we try to be like a really open Discord. So like we allow people to come in and be a guest, be a visitor. We have partner communities, like everybody here pretty much. So we have like a ranking system. We have an XP system for both members and guests that can participate in being active in our server. We do game nights, we do social nights. We've done a few movie nights, which have been really good. We've been trying to get some tournaments up and running, but unfortunately, we're only like 25 deep. We're kind of a really small, close knit community. Half of my community is people that were in the first round and came back when I reopened and were like, "Oh my god, you guys are back!" Like, please let me back in. And I'm like, yeah, man, like, sorry. Like, we merged with some people. Like, I ended up merging into IA, which was called Icarus Ascent. And then we found out that the owner was scamming people. He was making fake accounts and then being like, "Oh, I wish I had money for food or this or that." And then like we
Oh
had this
shit.
whole intervention, and we did like 2 different rebrandings. I did everything I could to save that group of people, and I just couldn't do it, bro. People were so put off from what the original owner had did that it was just dead in the water. So that's how we ended up opening up a second time. Originally we started as just like a weed community. I was like, man, I'm just gonna open up this
I
weed
remember that.
server and we're gonna smoke and have fun. And then a lot of people came in, and it was cool because a lot of people were cool and networking from a lot of different places out in the scene. And then eventually, I was like, you know what, man? Let's just open back up. Let's just bring back the old branding. Let's see how it is. And we've been pretty steady. We've hovered around 22, 25 members for like the past 6 months. Um, but I try to make it as inclusive as possible with our people, with our members. Like I'm always like,
Right.
hey, like I do polls. What day works best for everybody? What game night do you want to do? Our main games are just Fortnite and COD. Those are the only 2 games that are like really thriving right now for us. So Call of Duty when Black Ops 6 hit was really good for us. We brought in more people. That's how we started to get towards that 25 mark. And Fortnite's always been a staple. I love Fortnite. The new season's out. I'm like, can't wait to grind it.
Yeah, everyone's been telling me, I gotta play Fortnite, but I can't. I don't like the game. I stopped liking after maybe maybe a few months after its release when the pump shotgun and the
Honestly,
pump shotgun and the no scope rifle was on there. I guess after that I thought it was boring and there was just too
Hunting
much
rifle.
yeah, the hunting rifle. So somebody would have corrected me in the comments, okay?
oh, 100%. But hey,
Um,
I can definitely agree with you. Like that's almost when the game just kind of fell off for me. But in the first place, I didn't even really get into it.
I mean,
but
it kind of, go ahead.
the game is fun. I can understand it why a lot of people do it. Not my cup of tea. I don't like battle R or BR games to begin with. Like Call of Duty general, I don't really play Warzone. I'll play the multiplayer, the competitive stuff, Have fun on that, make it to where hey, I can actually, do this for fun and not get mad like most people would be.
Right.
But like when it comes to BRs and stuff, I could get really mad on there.
For me and Fortnite, it fell off because it was a BR game and you were building. I didn't really like that. But as soon as they brought in Zero Build is when I really started to play quite a bit more. It's a fun game. It's not meant for everybody though.
Right. I mean, I
And
can
it definitely
100%
has
agree with that.
and it's definitely
Yeah.
geared down for kids more or less. Or the young adult, to be fair.
Right. I think what actually kind of saved it for a lot of people is definitely that no build mode because like you can sit there and you're just relaxing. You see a guy, you shoot him, you only tap him one time with a scar, and all of a sudden it's like he just made the Pyramid of Giza or some shit.
Yeah, that shit was annoying.
It's
Yeah.
constantly like you could see one person and all of a sudden there was a castle in front of you and
Mhm.
there was almost nothing you could do because this dude spent like hundreds of hours just practicing on what button presses to push and how quickly he can make a tower. And then you just sat there on the ground like, what in the world is going on?
Yeah, I was
Another
definitely one of those builders at one point, I'm gonna admit. Uh I I found joy in it, but then I did like about 6, 7 months where I only played single player games. Came back when Zero Build launched, and I've kind of played on and off ever since. Not religiously or anything, but
Right.
I play it, and then I play Warzone. I play a few different battle royales. Uh, I just like how it's quick paced.
Mm.
You know,
I agree with that.
I get done working and then I go and I play something quick. I don't gotta grind. That's my that's why I play those.
Right. Um, that is entirely that's entirely understandable. Dread, I forget, did we? No, we did let you talk about HFA.
I didn't talk about the events yet.
Oh,
Uh,
that's right. You only
our
introduced it. I apologize.
our main game currently is Black Ops 6. We have a few semi-professional players. So we get events going on that. Usually it's a uh drink and COD night or a 420 and COD night just because um our friend group, we all kind of either drink or smoke or a little bit of both. Um,
I mean, you gotta have a good time.
we just hit 100 members a few weeks ago. Our active members are around 30-ish.
That's still
Um,
good. Only a
but
30% turnout. That's still good.
we we did hit 100 members. You know, we'll have people who will check in every few months and hang out. But yeah, our active turnout, weekly, the people who show up to things, it's about 30 or so people.
Gotcha,
That's pretty
gotcha.
good. Good.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
definitely good.
speaking of members, I forgot to mention that Ghost Division has 98 members currently, spanning across multiple different communities, and everybody's active in that server, no matter where they're from. We do connections and stuff, clan battles and stuff, and all that good stuff as well in there.
Now,
Gotcha.
when you speak of clan battles, do you mean like you guys do like GBs basically, where you guys just do like who's the better at like COD, Halo, anything that has like a PvP system in it?
Yeah,
Hmm.
See, that's where like I want to get to where we can have multiple communities that want to sign up and do that type of stuff. I think it'd be really banger.
Mm, that's entirely understandable.
Yeah, I like the sound of that.
Here I am sitting
That
here
would be
like I
like
want that in War Thunder. Genuinely though,
but
that's actually one of the few things that War Thunder is known for is like you can have two different clans and you can just battle each other and whatnot. It's pretty cool.
I'm gonna look into
that's
that.
believable.
I've heard about that game. I have never played it though.
All I'm gonna say is once you get to so in War Thunder, there is this main system is you have different ranks and then you have different battle ratings.
Yeah.
And then you have three different game modes for both air, air, ground, and sea. And technically, naval has two different kinds. It is like blue water, which I think is deep water, and then like smaller boats, like closer to shore, like PT boats. Um,
Oh,
of the two, technically three different game modes, there's arcade, which is just your typical arcade shooter, but tanks and whatnot. And there's a very slim chance you can even get a nuke off, which is still pretty fun whenever you can. There's realistic, which is a lot harder. You don't get the aiming reticle. Everything is slower. You have to know where to hit things, and then you have realistic, where you get like none of that. You only get um, in the bottom left hand screen, you get the entire like overview, like X-ray overview of your tank, what's broken, um, and then at the bottom you have your ammo, and at the top um, you have the objectives. So like you can have like the battles where it's like your team versus the other team. You have to go cap that point, and that'll win you the round. You have conquest, usually either like a 1 point or a 3 point, or all that stuff. And in simulator, you don't even get the usernames above the heads of your teammates. You have to figure out if that's a teammate or not just by looking at the tank. And
Whoa.
dude, it's crazy because like the China line in War Thunder, it has copy paste tanks from other countries. Like you can see M24 Chaffies from like the United States and Britain. I don't know if Britain has the Chaffee, but you can see certain tanks in China, and you could go up against China and you're like, oh, that's a friendly. Nope, they just shot you.
Hmm.
So,
I would not do good in that.
dude, all I'm gonna say is simulator is like the shadow realm of War Thunder. It's crazy.
Played a little bit.
War Thunder goes
Little
very in depth with their designs, don't they? As well.
Oh,
Sometimes they got
absolutely.
in trouble with it as
Literally
well.
down to the component.
Yeah, they've gotten in trouble for that, haven't they? As well, to be fair.
Well, it's not even
From what
them,
I
it's the
heard.
community because they keep leaking classified documents.
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
It's amazing until you realize that it's a literal, like, a security issue. And then every government has to be, like, weeding out any person that plays War Thunder.
To be fair, wouldn't you be mad though if people were leaking your shit? Like, I can
I mean,
understand where that's coming from.
right. But at the same
Like,
time,
bro,
this is
how are these
government
people
documentation, man.
like how are these people figuring out about this government documentation? We
Sometimes they
didn't
work at the
even
government and they have access to these.
yeah, and it's
Crazy.
like it's funny though.
It's
Like
it's insane. But at the same time, I can kind of see like the where the community's coming from of wanting these like super highly modern tanks that are like top of the line and some of them top secret. But at the same time, there's a certain limit. There's a line that you
Oh,
don't
for real.
cross, and that's usually from government documentation that is quote highly classified.
So how is that legal?
It's not.
It's not.
Oh shit!
I don't think it is. I think
No.
when they like most of the like users get found out about, it's usually
Oh, it's a national
hey,
security issue.
it's literally like hey, goodbye.
They
Like,
get sent to Guantanamo Bay.
yeah, it's
Well,
it is quite literally a national security issue if it's a American vehicle, like the F-35. There is technically documentation, but you have to have a certain clearance to get that documentation. So if it's secret enough and it gets leaked, that's a big no-no.
Mm, like I know one point in the War Thunder community they leaked the Abrams documents and stuff, and
The
that was
one
a
of the most
fun shit
recent
show.
ones, like I think it's an M1A3 or something
Yeah,
like that. I don't know if that's a thing,
something like that. Yeah.
but like they have the M1A1 or M1A2 SEP. That one was created, I think, about 15 years ago ish.
Mm-hmm.
I think as of right now they have up to 2010 vehicles. I know that they have some of the Merkavas, which are freaking animals in the game. Like you can see one and then you won't see one because you're dead.
Yeah, yeah. Fun
you
times.
won't see one because you're dead.
They
So it's
are
like the Chuck Norris of tanks, or what?
basically, dude. They are deadly in War Thunder. The Merkava Mark IIIs are insane. Um, but then again, there is the funny Russian railgun, the Object 120, which I kid you not, the cannon itself is longer than the tank. The entire tank, from the turret to and the chassis end to end, it is just about as long as that, and the turret is
That's
massive.
crazy.
Well, I mean, at the same time, it's it was designed for long range firing, and it does come with an APFSDS shell. For those who don't know, that's armor piercing fin stabilized discarding sabot. It is literally a giant dart. I kid you not, tungsten rod go burr. But
Tungsten rod go burr.
I'm not kidding you, dude. It's insane, and you can see that if you go in game and you test drive it, if you have it downloaded. In fact, if at some point I may find a photo of it and put it in somewhere in like the Discord. For those who are in the Discord and want to see it. The mill lines are so close together, it almost looks like a black block underneath the crosshair. It is that fast. Now, mind you, this is a discarding sabot, so it has petals that are around it that whenever it's fired, the petals are designed to basically split away without damaging the actual projectile.
Jesus.
It's awesome.
But
one of my favorite. Go ahead.
Let's go ahead and steer this topic away from War Thunder.
Funny take.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have to say one last thing about War Thunder. The Spitfire.
Oh, dude,
that was a great place. They really are.
They really are. I witnessed a Spitfire destroy a B-17 in under a second.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That game has airplanes and boats, right, and all that.
Yes.
Yeah, and tanks.
That's pretty dope.
I agree.
Yeah, but
hey, Azazel, can you take care of that real quick, please?
Yeah, got you. You guys hear about Microsoft's price change?
Microsoft price
I
change.
saw some YouTube videos pop up, but I haven't seen anything.
I was seeing a lot of content creators making stuff about that. I think it's insane personally. Too early to do this. They just changed the price a few years ago. Usually it would take longer, so they're getting greedy. They're getting very greedy.
But what are we talking about? Are we talking like Game Pass Ultimate, or are we talking like hardware?
They're moving
hardware. They're moving so entirely. We're gonna be seeing price increases on the Xbox Series X, the Xbox Series S, controllers, Elite Controllers Series 2, Elite Controllers Series Core.
So like everything
we're seeing
from Microsoft
now.
Games are going to be increased, yes, as well. I think to $80.
Of course.
And then obviously an arm and a leg for the hard edition.
Yeah.
$80 my controller and Xbox already.
Insane.
Seriously.
So it's not gonna hit until next. So from what I've heard, I'm not gonna say, oh yeah, 100% factual, because then someone in the comments will be like, oh, you lied.
Or be like, actually.
Actually, no. Essentially, it's supposed to happen in, I think, the holidays.
Which one?
I'm looking this up.
December, like after Christmas and all that is supposed to happen.
Gotcha. So basically, the start of the next year.
Yeah. But that's what it's supposedly. Of course, there's gonna be fact checkers that are just like, that's not happening until maybe 2027.
Yeah, it's starting this holiday season. New games will cost $7.99 instead of $79.99 instead of $69.99, which was set in 2023. So they're increasing it kind of fast compared to the last time it was increased.
Which, I mean, I wouldn't have a problem with them increasing the prices, right? And I know a lot of gamers are going to be like, why would you want that? You don't want people playing games with you. No, I wouldn't have a problem with it if they gave us a complete game and not, here's a half-baked game, but you're going to have to get the full unlock of the game. You're going to have to go ahead and spend, $80 or $25 or $50 just to get it. Like, if I can just get the full game, like, it goes back to our conversation about how, you know, Dark Souls and the Elden Ring series, or, you know, the Soulsborne series, they give us a complete game.
Right,
Mhm.
on
And
last episode.
yeah, in the last episode, if you haven't, by the way, go ahead and check that out on the SOV Network YouTube channel or the Spotify when we post it up there.
Whenever I can get it figured out, because yay. Woo,
Yay,
software.
technology.
Technology. Pretty accurate.
Jake.
Yeah, it goes back to that. It goes back to, you know, me telling you a lot of games don't give us the complete product. Like
Right.
some games will give us half the product, and a year or two later we'll release another portion of it. And if they're gonna do that where you have to spend $80, give me the full product then.
Mhm.
Honestly, I mean that's honestly why I moved to PC. Personally,
Right. Speaking of either half-made products or full-made products, I recently found out about a game on Steam. It's called Beautiful Light. Do you guys know the like SCP universe at all?
yeah.
Is that the SCP Foundation you're talking about?
No, Beautiful Light is completely different. So
Never heard.
it's
Then no, I have not heard it.
actually I know that Specter can look that up on Steam right now if he wanted to. But
Let me see it.
it's honestly really really cool. So essentially what the idea is it's based around like it's called like a anomaly, I think it's called, and then operators, and it's you versus other operators and this anomaly, and you can play as the anomalies, and it will also, the idea behind it is that you can play either the anomaly or the operators. The biggest difference between this game and any other game that is like it is that if you play the anomaly, you can still level up into your operators and vice versa. And it's really, really cool. But there's usually only like 3 or 4 anomalies per game and like 16 operators. And you can group up and work with some of these other people that are humans. And or you could just be a lone wolf if you wanted to, and it's pretty cool. um it's still in development. I don't know if there's any playtesting going on as of right now. I don't know if it's in early access or alpha testing, but it seems very very promising, if you will,
You know,
because
I've always been a console player my whole life, right? Like,
mm,
grew up with a Game Boy, always had an Xbox. I did PlayStation for a while, but it got too expensive. When the three came out, it was ridiculous. But I've gotten a computer, I've gotten like a gamer laptop and stuff, and slowly have gotten into the Steam environment. And here and there, I have a
mhm.
Legion Go. Um, so like trying to find like different games out of the like stuff that I normally wouldn't play. Have you guys heard of Steel Hunters?
I
The
have
name
not.
rings a bell. I assume it's like robot related, like you're probably piloting a robot.
So like it's in like I'm not sure if it's a beta or just like an open alpha. Like it's free right now and I've been playing it. And it's cool because like you have like different mechs and then they have a couple animal ones. Like there's a bear, a wolf, and like a spider tank, like kind of like Ghost in the Shell. And it's
Spider
fun
Tank
and
sounds
like
cool.
it's like really like kind of bare bones. Like they're just kind of really getting it out there. But Steel Hunters have been pretty fun for me. You guys should check that out. I believe it's free right now to download.
It is indeed free. I'm looking at it right now. Um,
And do you guys know what the Zoid series are? Like the animal robot mecha. It's like the
I
closest thing you're
think
gonna get to like a
so.
Zoid game. It's
Oh, it's a
in a sense.
PvPvE.
Yeah, yeah.
That's pretty freaking cool. It's almost like DayZ, but robots instead.
I
Yeah.
That's
recommend just
cool.
checking it out, bro. Yeah.
But so apparently, I guess Resident Evil or Capcom dropped Resident Evil 9 teaser, and I guess
Oh,
the player base has
Aw.
been losing their mind from what I've been reading. I haven't seen the teaser, which I honestly should, especially since I love me some Resident Evil. But
Gotta love the
that's
funny.
another gaming company.
True. Yeah.
That's another game company that gives us a full game. Like
Right.
they've always produced a good game, even those for people that are like not too big on Resident Evil
Mhm.
or on horror shooter action games.
I'm not too big on horror video games, and I love Resident Evil.
Right. Oh, speaking about like the whole like gaming community and whatnot in different companies, did you guys know that Nvidia is coming out at some point soon with the 50 series?
really?
The
I've
what?
heard.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. Is
So
that a PC thing?
yes, the
Yeah, it is.
Nvidia graphics cards, there's different series, and then those series have different versions. So say like you go for like the
30
RTX 30 series, there's a 3050, 3060, 3070, 3080, 3090, and then all those have different variants of that one kind. So like the 3050 Ti, that's one. Some of them are, like they have slightly higher powered ones of that version of that series, and then they also have some slightly lower powered than the baseline, and it's really cool. I have heard that they're looking into developing the 50 series. They might have already made it, but at this point, I think anything above what we currently have with the 40 series is just pushing the limits of like being complete BS as of price range. Because when COVID happened and the 40 series was released, I don't know, 3 or 4 months into it, it literally went from $800 to over $1,200 for 4090. Probably
Yeah, I remember
more.
that.
It was probably double that. And that's a graphics card, a piece of equipment for a computer. My 3050 that
Crypto
I have
mining
on
did a
my,
lot of damage to prices too.
well, at the same time, there's also scalpers, and we can all agree that screw them.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
screw.
no.
I
They
can't get
they
none of my
ruin
Pokemon
everything.
cards.
I can right. I can't get any single like. I can't get anything good. They keep taking everything like Evolution Tempest or something. Why can't they just like be normal?
So, well, the
Instead, it's
way that they view that stuff is buy low, sell high, or buy at market and then up price it once the market's empty. Is like these people will go and spend $45,000 on something and then expect to make 50 out of it. Like a five thousand
A few
dollar.
months back, uh, I heard a story
So,
about a musician who they
Mhm.
had scalpers, so they just like I guess made it open. They had reset it in a way that those scalpers ended up just wasting their money uh buying this musician's tickets.
are you
Sounds
talking
about
about
right.
the where they had to open like whatever they were buying to break the price
Yeah, there
cost?
were yeah, there was it was a big thing I remember at the time.
Oh,
Um
good lord.
but I liked that companies and other people they should do that. Find some sort of thing that works to disable scalpers.
See, that's
well,
probably one of
back
the biggest
to
things is scalping is it's a plague as of right now, and it's
mm,
still bad years after COVID ended, and technically we're still seeing effects from it. But at the same time, we shouldn't be we shouldn't have to deal with all of these things happening, and yet all of us who have to deal with the scalpers, we're just kind of SOL. Because going back to what happened with like the 40 series, they literally bought out the entire stock of these. It happened with the PS5 too. I remember
And
that.
the new Xbox Series as well.
Yep, and the Series X. It happened to every
So-
single one of them, and like you couldn't get one until it was like it came back into stock, and even then you had an hour time to even get it. Sometimes less than 15 minutes to even get it, and
Yeah.
it's not very good, Azazel.
Don't worry about it.
Thank you. And it overall it can sometimes just be a pain for the rest of us who are just wanting to hold on.
So I know I'm cutting in, but I found the 50 series is out for sale and stuff right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw something about they'd already had price cuts or something. I don't know.
So like the lowest it is right now, like I'm looking at a low price. It's $1,700,
For
almost $1,800.
or was it?
For an Asus ROG Acer GeForce RTX 5080 OC
Oh yeah,
gaming.
they're stupid expensive. But at
And
the
then a
same
high
time,
price, which is on Amazon, is $1,965.
right. Well, at the same time, you also got to think about it this way. I mean, anything past the 40 series, the 40s were like one hell of a step above the 30 series. But now you're just getting to the point of like there's not very much wiggle room with the materials and the technology that we currently have. Unless we have a massive breakthrough, we can only do so much with silicon based technology. We can only do so much.
Mhm.
And
Agreed.
even then, there's a point in which case it's far too much. You can't do anything more with it. And I think we're very quickly starting to approach that point with the 50 series. Because,
No, I agree completely.
right, I looked at some of the stats that they were projecting. They're not very different from the 40 series. They're a little bit above, but they're not very high, or very much higher. So if I had the choice between a 4080 and a 5080, I would still go with a 4080 because it's better bang for your buck. It's not $1,800. It's more like probably 900 or 1200.
Jesus.
Well, computer equipment is still pretty expensive. Um it it doesn't make sense why you should pay almost double the amount for a 20% increase to power. Whereas originally it was nearly a doubling of power between the 3050 and the 4090. That's literally double the power right there. Now, I can understand with like CPUs or the processor chips, like the AMDs and the Intel i5 i3 through 9s. Like, I can understand that, but with a graphics card, it's a graphics card. It's not meant to store, hold, and interpret data at a insane speed. It's not a CPU, it's a GPU. It's meant to do graphics. But I understand where it's coming from with the complexity, if you will. Because sometimes some things are just too complex, and I think that's where we're coming from, or going towards. with graphics cards. Like, it's going to be to the point that you're basically going to need a supercomputer to run certain things.
I agree.
Anyways, kind of shifting topic into something a little bit different and probably a little cooler to some of the viewers and listeners whenever we get the podcast on Spotify set up.
Well, I got an interesting one too for you. You
Okay.
guys hear about the judge ruling on Bungie?
What happened with
Wait,
that?
what?
I did hear about that.
So they got a court ruling on them for content. Their like original content for Destiny 2. So like the Curse of Osiris, the Red War, and a bunch of other like vaulted content or not contests, content.
Was it? Is it
Um,
like? Is it copyrighted or what's going on there?
So, there is claims, but Bungie
Oh,
can't produce the game, like the actual campaign content, because they vaulted it, which is like they pretty much deleted it from ever being played again. That's what they did. No one can play it again.
gotcha.
So they were having to rely on uh content creator lore videos and the Wikipedia,
Mm,
but the judge said that's not enough. So they're
the
kind of in
judge
a
said that's
pickle.
not enough. Oh Lord.
Yeah.
For those on the watching the YouTube, you'll notice that I moved two of the special guests up. I'm still trying to work some kinks out, trying to get some things dealt with. This is literally still episode 2. We're working on
yeah,
Well,
we gotta.
it.
It's been a testing, but also very interesting situations. Like when it comes to like we're still learning as we do this. We're more of just trying to do this for entertainment, so everyone has like everyone can watch this and have a good laugh, even if like we're doing something stupid and obviously amateurish. It's still also fun to sit here and talk with a group of like friends or guests or people that just want to come in and share what's going on in the world with them.
Right, right.
So, but like, yeah, their whole the whole thing is just to have fun. Like,
Which is entirely
there
understandable.
is. It's a very, very challenging situation when it comes to starting a podcast or videos and doing it for the first time or second time now, technically.
Technically, yes.
But
But
it's
luckily,
still
there
very tough thing.
yeah, there's a tipping point where it becomes easy enough to where it's like, okay, what time? Boom. How long are we going to record? Boom. Which usually they're going to be about an hour's time. We're currently sitting at 4 minutes and 30 seconds, or 43 minutes
Yeah,
and 30 seconds. Sorry. Um,
and
but yeah.
another thing I'm kind of like laughing about is I got informed the other day by someone who has been sharing our content. Which, by the way, thank you for that. Thank you for helping us, get that out there, help us grow.
Mm-hmm.
That one of the people that he shared it to straight up told us, "Hey, you you're not interacting with with the or not company the
target
viewers,
audience of viewers.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the viewers, the people that are doing it. We have stated multiple times, please fact check us, please, and
Absolutely.
give us some ideas. We'd
Just
love to have,
shove us into the ground with facts, dude. Do it.
hit us
Well,
with, something that we are doing incorrectly. Like, have a discussion with us, join in on the topics, you know.
Right.
But at the same time, I told him, I was like, well, we don't have an audience because we're not doing this live. This isn't live recording.
Right.
We're
This
not
is
that big
pre-recorded.
yet.
I mean, when we can get to the point that we can just live stream it, then we know we're definitely big enough.
Yeah, and that's where I'm like laughing because I'm like, bro, how can we, how can we, how can we interact with a, how can we interact with a group?
Not listed,
Right.
but
Interact with the
audience yet.
audience and like after a month or a week of it being up, and it's just maybe we forgot about the video being up, or something else
Well,
happens. Like, I know that definitely there's comments, but at the same time, there's a reason that there's comments. You can comment, you can say, hey, loved it, or I hated it, screw you, if you really wanted to. If you did, please let us know what we did wrong. If it's talking about video games, then, well, goodbye. Uh,
what do you
um,
mean? I would still like to hear people's opinions on certain video games.
exactly.
Or hear me out. Give us recommendations on games you'd love to see, SOV to play as a group,
Or
to
even
stream,
talk about or
to make
learn
videos
about.
on. Or yeah, we would be loving to have that.
And
Secondly,
definitely check us on our facts 100%. If we say something wrong, check on us. Do it. It's We're not gonna lash out at you. We're not gonna say, hey, that's incorrect, screw you. That's the reason that it's called fact checking. You're making sure that it's a valid fact. If there's something that's like clashing with it, like you see one thing but we see another thing, then we can definitely work something out with that, and we can kind of find a neutral ground there. Because, like, for one example, you can say War Thunder is bad, kind of using that as example, for this many reasons, and somebody else could come in and say, well, War Thunder is good for this many reasons, and then you both compare the facts that you have that show these two different things clashing, then you can make a educated guess as to whether it actually is good or whether it actually is bad. But you also want to be careful about where you get your facts from, because some things are misleading, as I think a lot of us have figured out.
but
Certain game devs.
there's a lot of people that do, like, if you go on Twitter or X, my bad, I forgot to change it.
Same
Sorry, can
thing.
you tell I'm old? Um, if you go on there, there's a lot of like sources that some of them aren't 100%. Like, there's a lot of times where you'll hear, yeah, they're not 100%, or they'll later get found out to be, fake news.
Oh yeah. Which,
Which
if any of you um have anything to mention about that, please do. Um, like, don't let Azazel and I take up the spotlight here. Like, I really don't want to do that. I'd rather you guys be able to talk and um
Well, when
whatnot.
researching, research the other side too,
Oh, absolutely.
because there's a middle ground. And if you look at both sides of said argument and research the other side as passionately as you research for your side, then you'll see a middle ground that you never saw before.
Right.
And it just opens up your mind more, and you can be more knowledgeable, and you'll end up agreeing with the opposition on certain things more. And it won't be just constant clashing. which that's something I use personally. I'll
Right.
research both sides,
Well,
and I
that's
learned a lot of things.
right. That's a skill that I think a lot of people tend to neglect is instead of making up your mind all at one time, all in one place, that's what you think. A lot of people
Yeah,
neglect to see the other side. Like, there's obviously always two sides to a coin. Technically, three if you want to count the side of a coin, but at the same time,
that's the middle
there's
ground.
exactly that's that middle ground. That's the fine line of okay, these things are good from these things are correct from this side, these things are correct from the other side. How can those two mesh? You
Pros
know?
and cons, man.
It-
We're all welcome to our own opinions,
oh,
but
100%.
like to completely shut out an opposing argument, that's just then you just become biased and kind of ignorant, right? Because you're not willing to see the fault in your logic. I'm
Right.
not saying he needs to completely radicalize your ideas of thinking, but to be aware of what the counter arguments are, what's only going to make either your opinion stronger because now you're like, okay, well, that doesn't really match up, or you're going to realize, like, hey, maybe I have been looking at this from inside the box. Let me see what like this is really about.
Exactly. That's probably one of the biggest things. I 100% agree with you. Instead of looking inside the box, try reaching outside of the box here and there. Because maybe you might be feeling around and you might grab something that really is able to topple over the opposing argument. But sometimes it may not. You just have to find the right tool for the job. It's like using a screwdriver to get rid of a bolt. Like, that doesn't work until you find a wrench that can fit that bolt. That is when you have
Right.
the right tool for the job.
There you go. He said it before I could say it. You're so smart.
That's entirely understandable. But like kind of going back to talking about like video games, I recently found out, so you guys know Arma, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's an old game, right?
It's old.
Old
Arma
army game.
3 came out, I want to say 12 or 14 years ago.
Jeez.
Last year, I believe, or the year before, Arma Reforger was um released. Honestly, a really cool game. But then Bungie, or not Bungie, what's the devs? Bohemia Interactive. They said that Arma Reforger isn't Arma 4. Arma 4 is coming out later next year. Last year? What? Next year. Someone help, I think I'm having a stroke.
Has you has
But
the stroke.
You need
yes.
CPR.
On my head, yes.
The,
Shit.
Anyways.
I gotta go.
So, probably one of the coolest things about Reforger is while it definitely did get an entire new look, an entire new system, it still has AI, and the AI and Reforger are freaking cracked, man. Like, you can have an entire mortar setup somewhere with AI on it, and they are deadly accurate. Like, within 50 meters, and that's not very far for a explosive round of, like, I think it's usually 75 or 73 millimeter. That's a big freaking radius. The kill radius on a lot of mortars is usually about 40 meters.
that's insane.
It's wild, dude. And actually, the system that they have and the fact that you can literally use like measuring tools to find a direction, pick a distance, and then use that just to lob a high explosive round at somebody from a kilometer away. Like, you can, some of these mortars you can go up to, I think it was about 2.4 kilometers, and you can go as close as 75 meters. That is about as long as some as some houses in the United States. Sorry,
That's
about 3
insane.
houses. So like
Jesus.
small single story houses, roughly about 50 feet. Take that, you're looking at about so per meter it's about 3.4 feet. So you're looking at about 225 meters or 25 feet. That's not very far. And
Wow.
the hang time that you can find on some of these is just wild, because you can send one round, you can send a volley of 3, it can be in the air, and then you can send another volley of 3 before the rounds even land. Like some of
Sounds
these,
deadly.
dude, some of these shots can be in the air for up to 40 seconds.
That's wild. That's a long
It's
time.
long. It's crazy. And kind of going back to what I was saying earlier, why couldn't Armor Forger just be Arma 4 and then the next one be Arma 5? I personally think that there's something underlying. I don't know what it is. It could very easily be something that Bohemia's planning. I don't know if they're planning on doing something with Daisy either, because that's something that used to be a mod for Arma 3. Ages and ages and ages ago. But then it became its own game. It still uses a lot of the same
Mechanics.
kind of mechanics, but also a lot of the same assets, like for buildings. And it's pretty cool. You can see some games, some buildings in Reforger still, which it works. It's completely fine, but in Arma you can destroy these buildings. In Daisy you cannot. So it's really cool to see a perspective of you can watch these buildings get destroyed. In fact, there is a certain spot on the Chernaris map that was originally for Arma and then became available for Daisy, and then obviously Arma Reforger. There is a spot on the map called VMC Military. It's like a triangular shaped military base, and on a video from I wouldn't say the channel. I don't exactly want to shout anybody out until they realize who in the world we are or what we do. But they were doing like a sniper mission with, I don't know, some sort of 308 rifle that's crazy out to 700 meters. But he went into a game, and some of these matches can last for up to 2 days, if not more. Hours, if not days, of the same match going on and on and on. And VMC, the first day that he was on the server, it was up. You could see buildings and buildings, and you could fight around the buildings and everything. The second day, when he got back on, it was annihilated, and there were camo nets up everywhere just to try and make a makeshift wall. It's wild. So, well, we are coming up on the 59-minute marker. We're getting pretty close to the end. Is there anything else that anybody would like to add in?
Nope,
I'd
for
like
me
to
at
say,
least.
I'd like to say, thanks for inviting me on, and this is a great group of people right here. I hope your guys' stuff blows up and more people catch on. I can't believe this has already been an hour. Like, I literally just got here and it's just already over. Like, wow. You know what I mean?
Seriously,
Yeah,
man,
man.
flies by.
Time
Sounds-
flies when you're with people who are
For real, dude.
matching your vibe.
It flies when you're having fun and you're talking with people. It really does.
You-
Well, if anything, you're 100% welcome back on the stream. Probably gonna have you guys introduce yourselves next time if you are on. Just for the newer people, which I just realized that Azazel Phoenix and I did not do at the beginning of this episode. Smart. But hey, we've got
Everybody
our
knows
usernames.
me.
That's fair. But then again, nobody knows Grug.
I mean, to be fair
Grug-
though, they probably don't know us too well.
Right.
But like at the same point in time, like when it comes to editing, like editing wise and everything like that, it's all gonna come down to like we're gonna put our social or our socials on there. So if anybody wants to have like shout out a YouTube channel or their YouTube channel, Twitch channel, go ahead and feel free to do it right now.
Bet.
Man, you can find
I'm-
Ronin Rebels on TikTok at Ronin X Rebels. Same with the Instagram. I try to keep all my stuff the same username, use at and all that. We got a couple videos up. We're trying to get more. If you want to drop us a follow, check us out.
And I'll Azazel,
You
I'll
can
probably
find-
have you throw the links in the description if you would mind.
You can find our official Twitter at Hell's Fallen HQ. We're working on getting a TikTok up and a YouTube up and running. We do not have that yet. We will soon though, and we'll announce it on our Twitter.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're
Awesome.
Guest Division's on YouTube. We're going to be making some videos to make sure that people don't come back around in the scene that are not welcomed. Nothing personal, nothing anything like that. Just the facts, the evidence, and everything that we have on them to make sure they're very well known and cannot have a foothold in the scene because they're not allowed to because they either
Right.
illegally done stuff or you know what I mean. So
Well,
on.
at the same time, you don't want to do borderline defamation either. So
Yeah.
that's technically something that you can get sued for.
Oh yeah, that would not be fun. And we'd only go off gamer tags and stuff, not real life.
Right.
information.
Well, obviously, with enough digging, anybody can find real life names, which sucks, but that's literally the internet for you. As if you're gonna be on the internet, that's a risk that you're willing to take.
Agreed.
So, anyways, guys, thank you for listening. We're gonna try and hopefully get episode 3 out sometime soon. I'm hoping for within another week's time or two. And yeah.
What I'm hoping for is we can finally get Phantom up on here, so we can finally have him introduce himself.
Seriously,
Thank you
I'm
for
I'm
having
waiting for him to
me
join so
on
I can
here.
get his PFE on here.
Oh my god, dude. Pookie
So-
not getting in here, bro.
But no, I thank you guys. Thank you, CJ or Gas Mask, wherever you want to go by, and Dread for showing up and sharing your guys' thoughts, opinions, and everything about your community. That really
Hey,
appreciative.
Having us
absolutely,
up
thank
here.
Sure.
Yeah, it was a pleasure to be on here.
Alright, well, I'm gonna go ahead and end it right here. Thank you guys for listening once again, and we'll catch you on the next one. Yeah.